TJ, you're kind of a veteran on the line now after being the new guy a couple years ago. How do you like the way that the line has come together and the depth that you're building this year?
I think, every year that goes by, we just get better and better and more collectively together. I think that, we build that chemistry together. Being an O-line, I've said this before, we're not just all one penny, we're a nickel together, 5 is 1. So I think that we're building collectively and having a lot of chemistry together.
What are your thoughts on the way that Coach Blesh can build the offense around the offensive line, being both the OL coach and the coordinator?
I think Coach Blesh brings that O-line mentality of just grit, and we're gonna run that ball down your face. We're gonna pass that ball whenever you want to bring pressure. Come on and bring it. We're gonna do it. So I think that he brings that grit mentality, and just we're gonna beat you.
Has it been a smooth transition between coordinators?
Yes, I don't really think he's changed up at all. Besides, just more meetings, more meetings. But Coach Blesh, I don't want to hype him up too much, make his head bigger. But I think he's a really good coach, and everything that he does for us, he does with a purpose.
What's been the biggest difference that you've seen maybe with his play calling, or maybe some of his goals that he has for you guys this year?
He just wants us to be consistent. He always says, and he probably said this to you guys, it's not about what we're doing. We know what we're doing. We know who's the point and where we're going to. It's about how we're doing it. So he just wants us all to be consistent, and whatever we do, just like I keep saying, just be consistent. That's a word that he keeps hammering into our heads with.
What's it been like having someone new next to you these last couple of days?
One more time?
What's it been like having someone new next to you, lining up next to you these last couple of days?
It's like I said about building the chemistry. During the summer, we've had multiple team gatherings and team events, so it's not like it's somebody totally new who I don't know, and we've already built that chemistry together. So I think that we're going to do good whoever gets put next to me.
Your game's grown leaps and bounds between your first season here and now. Has it got you eyeing the potential NFL future?
Yes, most definitely.
And what role do you think Coach Blesh played in that development?
Coach Blesh, the way that he just came in with confidence, he definitely built my confidence. You can't play O-line without confidence. So he definitely built my confidence, and being an O-lineman it's different from other positions. You have to have that grit. You have to be able to step on the line and look in the front of the person in front of you and be like, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna dominate you. So having Coach Blesh really helped that and build my confidence.
Do you like run blocking or pass blocking better than one or the other, or do you like them both?
But if you line up in front of me, I'm gonna beat you. I promise you that.
You have a good jersey. How would you rate the competitiveness and maybe intensity of this game?
David Reese. No, shout out David Reese. This is him right here, David Reese and X. Real good on that outside shoulder punch, but we've been real competitive lately. So this is where this comes from. Yeah.
Thanks, TJ.
Thank you.